As well, wherever they find themselves, they become real competition to the locals. And it grows to the point where people begin to hate them because they feel they are taking their jobs. Nigerians are sharp. Nigeria is having a population of over 230 million people. Ghana has about 35 million. I want to show you something more interesting about these two countries. Ghana and Nigeria, I would say, are twin countries because on the internet, these two countries are very interesting. But you see, anytime Africa produces giant company, a giant bank, the big banks that we know, a giant musician, a giant movie industry, a giant fintech startup, a giant entrepreneur, and a lot. Usually, Nigeria is the one that leads the conversation because they have these people. But when we are talking about peace, stability, governance, and order, then Ghana switches into the conversation. You see, here is what I have learned with regards to these two countries. The differences that these two countries have makes them better. Now calm down, because I am not interested in whether Nigeria jollof tastes better than Ghana jollof or the vice versa. That's not what I'm interested in. For years, Ghanaians and Nigerians have been arguing about who is better. Both countries are measuring the wrong thing. Nigeria and Ghana are playing completely different games. And this is it. Nigeria is optimized for competition, while Ghana is optimized for stability. Let me help you understand this so it can make sense to you. Now let's start with the numbers. Nigeria is one of the biggest economies in Africa with over 230 million people, ladies and gentlemen. You see, Lagos alone is so big and busy that its population is larger than Togo and Benin combined together. Well, let me take even Togo and Benin out. Even Namibia, Botswana, Gabon, Eswatini, and Lesotho combined, Lagos alone is larger and bigger than them. Nigeria produces a lot of big names in businesses and entertainment. If you're a Nigerian and you are not fast, you don't adapt quickly, you don't find solutions every day, then it means that you are heading towards distraction. You see, available investment and market reports consistently show a clear imbalance between Ghana and Nigeria in terms of business presence and capital flow. Nigerian companies have a much stronger footprint in Ghana, particularly in banking and fintech. That's why we can talk of institutions like the Access Bank, Zenith Bank, UBA, GT Bank, and the likes that have gained momentum in Ghana here and across Africa. You see, estimates from investment analysis places Nigeria cumulative investment in Ghana at over $6 billion across sectors including banking, oil, gas, services, real estate, retail, consumer goods, and a whole lot. On the other hand, Ghanaian investment into Nigeria is significantly lower and largely limited in scale, with few major Ghanaian firms operating at comparable levels in Nigeria today. So I hope by now you get me on that level where a Nigerian typically would have to remind you that you will learn and learn the hard way. Ladies and gentlemen, on this scale, the real question is why more Ghanaian businesses are not expanding across Africa in the same way. Because in the long run, success will not just be about who is strong at home, but then who is ready to grow beyond their borders. And Nigerians are doing exactly that. As well, wherever they find themselves, they become real competition to the locals. And it grows to the point where people begin to hate them because they feel they are taking their jobs. Nigerians are sharp. Now come to Ghana. Ghana consistently ranks among the more politically stable countries in Africa. Transfers of power happen peacefully in Ghana. The business environment is generally predictable. It's easy to predict. You see, the world often describes Ghana as peaceful, welcoming, and easier to navigate. But stability has a hidden cost. When a society becomes comfortable, urgency reduces, and urgency is often the mother of innovation. Think about it again. You see, a Nigerian entrepreneur wakes up every morning knowing that nobody is coming to save him. The market is brutal, competition is brutal, the economy is brutal, so he learns to move very fast. In Nigeria, speed is survival. Even I Show Speed, the streamer, in his recent trip to Nigeria, confirmed that. Now, listen to this. The average Ghanaian grows up in a society where guidance, control usually comes from the mother. Mothers usually produces the attitude behavior of most children. So they produce patience, order, respect, and social harmony. In Nigeria, I have studied that most of them grows up in a society where guidance and control usually comes from the father. And when that happens, it produces toughness, aggression, forcefulness, and so on. So no wonder a Nigerian typically is aggressive, hard, swift, fast, and so on. You see, that's why on a normal note, we can mention and say that Ghana is a mother. We usually refer to Ghana as Mother Ghana. And I hope from today, we will refer to Nigeria as Father Nigeria. Many Ghanaians see Nigerians as too forceful, whilst many Nigerians also see Ghanaians as too relaxed. Here is the part that nobody talks about. And let me tell you, the future of Africa may depend on both countries. Learning from one another is important. Nigeria needs more systems. Ghana needs more urgency. Nigeria needs more predictability. Ghana needs more ambition. Because if Nigeria's aggression meets with Ghana's stability, boom, you just don't have a rivalry. You get one of the most powerful economic blocks on the continent. Maybe the question is, what can Ghana learn from Nigeria? And equally importantly, what can Nigeria also learn from Ghana? How can we balance? How can we come together and form one of the greatest African economic giants that even the developed economies cannot compete with us? Africa cannot afford for Ghana and Nigeria to keep seeing each other as competitors. No, the numbers are clear. The opportunities are clear. In fact, that makes the future so clear. The real competition should not be between Ghana and Nigeria. It should be Nigeria and Ghana coming together as an African country against the rest of this advanced world. On a closing note, I want to use this opportunity to encourage all our Nigerian brothers and sisters to keep on the massive support whilst we are in the World Cup. When we take the World Cup, the first thing we will do is to pass through Nigeria and celebrate before we come to Ghana. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy Sikeja. I want to see your perspective also in the comment section. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Come back, let's have another meaningful conversation.